And finally to Brazil, where former President Jair Bolsonaro has been accused of forging his COVID vaccination certificate. The 68-year-old former leader has been formally indicted. And this as the Brazilian police filed an investigation report naming Bolsonaro and 16 of his subordinates for falsely entering data into the public health system. Our next report breaks it all down for you.
Former Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro's legal troubles are spiraling up. The 68-year-old leader has now been formally indicted for faking his COVID vaccine certificate. According to a report filed by the Brazil police, Bolsonaro and 16 others plotted to issue false certificates. They reportedly used those certificates to do away with the restrictions amid a raging pandemic. The report names the former president along with his subordinates. That includes a doctor, a lawyer, health officials and soldiers, among others. The police investigation shows that one of Bolsonaro's close aides, an army colonel, confessed to entering fake data into the public health system. The colonel reportedly said Bolsonaro ordered him to insert the false data for him and his daughter. He further said that those certificates were printed and delivered to the former president. According to Brazil's Public Health Department records, the former president received the vaccine in Sao Paulo during the pandemic. But an investigation later found he was not in the city at the time. The Brazil police are investigating charges of criminal association and insertion of false data into the public system. According to Brazilian laws, both these offences are punishable with imprisonment. Bolsonaro has been widely criticized for his management of the COVID-19 pandemic. The former president had dismissed the severity of the pandemic. He not only vehemently opposed a lockdown to curb the virus, but also asked Brazilians to stop whining as the death toll reached record highs. He even joked about the vaccine, saying that it could turn you into an alligator. Bolsonaro, a COVID skeptic, had publicly vowed to never get the COVID vaccine. He has denied any knowledge of records being tampered with and says that the case against him is fabricated.
If I'm out of the political game, I will be a citizen, maybe a good political facilitator. There are many good names, but I believe until the last second, without exemption in a fair trial or any kind of revenge on the part of the TSE.
The Brazil authorities in January confirmed that his COVID vaccination certificate was forged. However, they didn't have enough evidence to access who had forged the data. This isn't the only legal battle that Bolsonaro faces. There are plenty of them. He's facing an investigation into an alleged coup plot to stay in power after losing the 2022 general election. Thousands of his supporters had stormed government buildings, including the presidential palace, the Supreme Court and the Congress. They looted and vandalized the buildings. Bolsonaro has been barred from running for office for 8 years for undermining the electoral system. Last month, he had to surrender his passport. The former president is also being probed over the alleged misappropriation of state gifts. For now, Brazil's Attorney General will decide whether to charge the former president or not. The indictment in the false COVID vaccination certificate case is a first for the embattled far-right leader, but it could open the floodgates of trouble for Jair Bolsonaro.